Hey there, we are continuing on with our stories behind the song. This song is actually going to go backwards a little bit. We're going to do Who Do You Say I Am on this installment. And that song, it was written for Stand, but it got released on Sherry Ann Live. Because when I did Sherry Ann Live, I wanted a couple of new songs for that project. Sherry Ann Live was what people would see if they saw me in concert. Testimony, music, some Christmas songs, and we had basically like a greatest hits album that we did for that project, but I wanted to introduce a couple of new songs. So I put Who Do You Say I Am on there, Lord I Hope This Day Is Good on there, and Michael Booth, who was my drummer for the project, did He Heals, and I did sign language for that. So that project was a dream of mine, to get a live band on stage and do an entire concert. So we had Michael on drums, we had Landy Ewing on bass, Andrew Ishii on keyboard, piano, and we had Scott Newbert on guitar, along with Toni Jolene Clay on background vocals. She also produced the Stand album, and she wrote Who Do You Say I Am with me. So we just kind of put a sneak peek on that project of two of the songs from the Stand CD, but Who Do You Say I Am was actually supposed to be on Stand, and of course it is. That song was also the first live video I made. So I have several music videos, and I've accomplished all different settings for all of my different music videos. You'll notice I have one outside, one in the studio, one in black and white. I have a lyric video and a story video, but I always wanted a live video. So Who Do You Say I Am, I thought, was a perfect song. It's just full of energy, full of life, and just a great question based on Matthew 16:13 through 18. We know the story where Jesus was walking with his disciples, and he turned to them and said, "Who do men say that I am?" And they had all kinds of answers of what other people said. Now, as I'm talking with you, there are ducks quacking in the background. Even they've got something to say about who he is. So it doesn't matter what all the quacking and chatter is in the background. It matters who you say he is. And that's what he said to his disciples when they told him, well, this one said this and that one said that, but he said, who do you say I am? And I always thought that was such a powerful passage. I've read Matthew more times in the Bible than any other book, and that passage is just so poignant to me. And I wanted to write a song called I Am, because also in the Old Testament he said, I am that I am. And so combining the fact that he says I am, then he says, who do you say that I am? I thought, wow, let's just marry the Old Testament with the New Testament, because that's really what we as believers do. And let's write a song about that. So the original title, I believe, was called I Am. And I began writing it, and I submitted it to Toni Clay, who at the very beginning said, great concept, great ideas, but it's reading very much so like poetry. Give it a little bit more of a meter. Even though poetry has a meter, she just wanted me to line it up and phrase it a little better. So I worked on it a little bit more deeply, and the words just completely came, and they just poured out. And I submitted it back to her, and she was basically like, bingo, now you've got it. And I said to her, but I don't have the music. And I love her soul, her blues, her jazz, her energy with a lot of her music. And so I said, give me a lot of energy to this music. Give me a lot of kicking beat, basically, is what I said. I want it to be driving. I want it to be powerful. I want it to be in your face, because the question is in your face. And so Toni came up with the music for it. And of course you have Who Do You Say I Am? That is probably one of my favorite songs to sing, because if I say nothing else to you for the entire concert, I want you to answer that question, who do you say I am? And of course, Peter said, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus said, blessed are you, Peter, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. I pray the Father who is in heaven reveals himself to you. God bless. Bye-bye.